Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to ARK Survival Ascended. And today, it's finally time for me to go ahead and build up my first main base here on Genesis. We've been living out of this tiny little thatch hut for a very long time now, and it is way too crowded in here. I've started using tons of different creatures as storage bins because I just don't have enough room, and it's finally time for me to go ahead and move and make an actual base. And we're going to start by making my ocean base, as it's the one that I have the best idea for so far, and I have a general idea on where to put it. I want to put it over out above the original Genesis ocean, and this is probably going to be the biggest base I think I have ever made by far. And it's definitely the most expensive because it is made almost completely of metal. I think the only non-metal structures are all greenhouse. So yeah, it's pretty expensive and pretty heavy, and I'm probably gonna have to build it in multiple different sets. I'm not gonna be able to bring everything all at once. Let me just move everything out of the way. There we go. That should hopefully give us enough room, but I'm hoping that my octopus can go ahead and carry all of it, or at least the first bit, and then we can move on to the second part of the building when we get there. Can I get through here? Yes, I can. I should be able to access the inventory, so this should be the first set. And this is everything that I will need to just start existing. Every part of the build that is absolutely necessary for me to actually live in. The rest of it is decorations and additional pieces that will be needed for some breeding pens that I'm going to have for aquatic creatures. I think this should be everything I need. Let's go ahead and grab some gas while we're at it. There we go. Alright, that should hopefully be able to keep us powered for a good amount of time. And we're probably just going to go ahead and teleport over to the central island, I'm thinking. It's because that'll be the closest I think I can get. And I'm not exactly sure... I'm not sure what happened there, but I'm kind of... Okay, what's going on here? There we go. Alright. I'm kind of thinking I might want to live right on top of a mission, particularly chasing the white whale, as that's, in my opinion, one of the easiest hexagon farms in the game. But I kind of also wonder if maybe I should just sit on top of Motors Arena, right where the trench, I guess, is. So I might do a little bit of investigating. Let's track where Motor is, and let's see if I can find spots in there. We're able to bring our octopus with us, and oh yeah, it's pretty close. So yeah. Fortunately, from what I can tell, they removed the ability for feral creatures to spawn in this part of the ocean. So I should be fine to go ahead and build over here and have some parts that are underwater. If not, then, well, I just wasted a ton of metal and cementing paste all for nothing. So, hopefully they did go ahead and remove those feral creature spawns. We'll have to see. Yeah, this is going to be a really big basin. I don't know if we're going to get to decorating it, at least not in its entirety, as there's still some decisions I need to make, and as for actually moving all of the crafting stations and all, that's going to take a long time to bring everything in the resources, so... I don't know, we'll see how things go. I have for most of this planned out, but there are still some specifics that I do still need to work out. Let me just make sure. Is this the spot? It's not looking like it. There must be another way down there. Let's see. Oh, hello. Not able to scan it, dang it. Alright, so... just past it. Is this the spot where we can just go straight down? Because I kind of want to live here. At the same time, though, it might be nice to live in a more shallow area. Yeah, this is definitely the spot. So we could live just out here. Uh-oh. Yeah, she's not going to be very happy about that. We could be in trouble here, actually. Is that an island we can just go? Nope. Honestly, maybe we could just live here I mean, we're still technically right above the mission, and yeah, I mean, we're close to that area of the trench. And where is the where's the white whale? Uh-oh, just give me ocean ones, please. This one, track it. It is right. Okay, it's a little bit further. It's across the trench. But honestly, either way, it would be nice to go ahead and live up here where I can just have some scenery down, so it's not just an endless abyss that I'm viewing. Let's just make sure I can even put these down here. Do I need to hop off? Okay, here we go. So I should be able to just put all 4 of these down right on top of each other. Let's go ahead and get our guy out of the water. Let's see if we can climb onto. There we go. Perfect. There we are. One giant. Alright. And we should be able to just pretty easily put this into position. Maybe it's going to be a little bit more difficult than I thought. That worked? Yep, perfect. Let's just replicate this on the other sides. I think that should do it. Yep, and last one. Hopefully this will be easier since it's a corner. Nope, it will not. Is that right? One more? Nope, one back. There. That should do it. Alright, so perfect. Got all of them set up nice and easily. Alright, so next we need to go ahead and build the pillars. This is going to be a bit of a tower, so I need to go ahead and get pillars so I can actually build a cylindrical shape. So we'll have to just go here into the center and put these down, and hopefully it can snap the center. There we go. And we need to go up. I believe you can go only 14 tall here. So let me go ahead and grab my Bloodstalker so we can get a little bit more height. Excuse me? There we go. Oh, apparently it counts this as being in a mission area. Hopefully this works. I might go ahead and use... I have my template hammer, so if worst comes to worst, I'll just copy what I've already built. And if I have to end up moving for whatever reason, I can just go ahead and do it later. Go ahead and just template hammer it to wherever it needs to be. Let's go ahead and get these equipped. I can just do that for now. And there we go. Now I should hopefully be able to... Nope. Alright, so maybe building with a Bloodstalker is not going to work out. Actually, we could probably just do it this way. Alright, that kind of works. Let's see, I think we can still go a little bit higher, I think, right? Are we okay? Not going too crazy, right? There. Oh, that attached us. Anyway, that's good enough for now. It doesn't really matter. And I decided that I want to go ahead and make each floor about 2 walls high, at least to start. So I should be able to just branch this out like so. And I can go ahead and just branch off of this. Perfect. And keep on... that's going to happen a lot, isn't it? Probably. Go ahead and swap this so I can actually put stuff away. There we go. Now we should just have to... Alright, let me just go ahead and put these on my hotbar, honestly. I don't need to go ahead and be too specific. I'll probably go through at the end of this and then make sure all the triangles are facing the right way, because my OCD is not going to let me have them all facing like this, and I'll have to go ahead and fix it. So I'll deal with that later. But I think we should have enough. I don't actually know if I have enough of these pieces to go ahead and actually make all of the floors that I'm going to need. So that's going to be a little bit of a problem. I'll probably have to go ahead and handle that. Let me just make sure. Okay, platforms are protected. Perfect. We do not need those disappearing. Yeah, hopefully it won't be too much more expensive. I think I built everything, but this took a very long time to farm the resources for. This is, I mean, already this alone, just the tower, is incredibly expensive, but to go ahead and build everything I have planned for the breeding pens, which are going to take up these 4, each of the ocean platforms is going to have something in them. It got really expensive really quickly, so hopefully I already have everything I'll need, and if not, it shouldn't be too expensive to go ahead and make the rest of it, and this is getting a bit ridiculous. Let's see if it'll be better if I actually build it from the top. There we go, this should probably help, maybe. Oh yeah, that's much better. Yeah, the first floor I'm thinking, because when it starts to get stormy, the waves will get a lot taller. I'm thinking the first floor is kind of just going to be a bit of a... I don't really know what you'd call it. I guess it's technically an airlock, I guess. Just a room to go ahead and just keep everything out of, and I'll probably just have some scuba suits sitting in there just because I need a little bit of decoration, but I really didn't know what to put down there. Unfortunately, I don't know of any way to have, like, a weapon display. I don't think there's anything like that in vanilla or any of the mods that I use, so... yeah, if there is one that I can find, then I will definitely use it, because I do want to have a bit of a weapons display, and I can just have some harpoon guns, but for now, I think we're just going to have to stick with the standard scuba tank sitting by the doors, and then I'll just kind of leave that room for just kind of an airlock. And then I can move on to the second floor and the rest of it. But let me just go ahead and work on getting all these floors set up and angling all the triangles perfectly. And then I'll bring you guys back when we're ready to start the next section. Well, that's certainly something you don't see every day. I'm not really sure what happened to him, but I got the first floor's ceiling done, and now it's time to go ahead and start with the walls, and I completely forgot that I needed to go ahead and make an elevator shaft. So hopefully this is going to work, and hopefully I can go ahead and attach the elevator track here. I think I brought them, didn't I? They should be here in the octopus, right? Generator amplifiers to get more range, and okay, I do have the platforms. I got worried for a second, and it is not wanting to snap. I have to snap it to an actual... great. That's not ideal. Yeah, that's not good. I really wish that there were more options to go ahead and snap the elevator platforms to, well, the tracks, I guess, because they're a little bit annoying, I gotta be honest. Maybe I could find, let's see, is there somewhere else up here that I could put it? What could it snap to? I'm not really seeing anything too obvious. Let's see, what's gonna try and... yeah, it's only gonna do these normal, way to the sides of stuff, so... I guess I could technically have it on the edge here and have it kind of go up by the side, but that's not what I really had in mind. Is there a way for me to, like, cement it into the ground? Where's the... here it is. Let's see if I can go ahead and put some right here. Extend it down. I hope the wall wasn't there. Let's see. It's grabbing it for a second. No, it's not letting me go down. I guess I could just have it to the side here. Can I flip it so it would snap? I guess it can't snap to quarters, probably. Yeah, alright, well that kind of messes up my whole plan for the elevator system. I really wish that they had triangular elevators or something similar, because originally I wanted to have just the center be an elevator shaft, but I didn't really know how to make it work and make it look nice with having to take out the triangles. I guess I could just go ahead and pick up some of them, but at the same time I also need the pillars. The central pillars are really what's holding all this up. Pretty sure if I got rid of it, even with the walls going down to the bottom, it wouldn't work, so yeah, that's not going to work out. So I guess I can just return this back to how it originally was. Yeah, let's go pick up all the walls now that I think about it. Whoops. And I can just go ahead and have... Can the track sit this way? I might have to just make a single floor down there to put the track in place. I don't know, I'll figure out at some point, but... Yeah, that's... It's gonna be a little bit of an issue. Guess I can just continue by making the walls, and I need to figure out, I think I want the door over here. Yeah, that'll probably work. Door over here, and let's go double door with how big this is gonna be. I think we need it to be a double door, otherwise it's gonna be a little bit too small. Oh, right, secret doorway. And... Hold on. This is too big. Did I extend one too far? I must have. Yeah, I did. Okay, hold on. Maybe the elevator system isn't broken. I extended this a little bit too far. All may not be lost on the elevator idea. It probably is, but... There we go. Alright, all cleaned up, and... I might be able to do something like this, actually. Wait a minute. Let's go other side. Yeah, here we go. Okay, this would actually be a nice place if I could get it to work. Yeah, there's no way to flip it. It has to start on the bottom. It can't start. Yeah. Dang it, I wish you could just snap it just a little bit further. Maybe I could go ahead and give this place some flooring. Maybe I could make that work. That would definitely increase the costiness of this. That, or I could just go with ladders instead of an elevator, but... I don't know, is an elevator faster than a ladder? I don't really know. I feel like they're about the same speed in ARK, but I could be wrong. I miss S+'s tech elevators. Those were really nice. I hope that they eventually decide to add those to ASA. Let's see. I'll just go ahead and deal with it later. But yeah, I guess let me just go ahead and get the walls set up. And then I can work on getting the other pieces, and we can work on figuring out how we're going to construct the next floor, and I'll try and figure out the elevator. But yeah, give me a little bit. Okay, currently working on the walls for the second floor, and this is actually one that I have a lot of decoration ideas for. I think I'm mostly going to have the... Oh, that's a little awkward. Whoops. But anyway, I think that for the second floor, I'm going to have most of the walls be covered in the aquariums that got released with Tides of Fortune. And I'll probably have to go ahead and find a bunch of, what do you call it, fish and other things to store them. I don't know, I feel like you can store very small aquatic creatures in them. I don't know, can you? Maybe it's just fish you catch in a fish basket, but yeah, I want to go ahead and add some of those in here, and then I'll have a few other kind of water-related things in here, having some other decoration stuff, and I'm probably going to have the war map in here. I guess this could kind of be seen as the war room. I'll probably have the bounty board in here as well. And then I think that probably should be everything that I'll need in here. I think, and I should be able to actually build this now without the triangles getting messed up and in different directions, which will be great. Is this all? Yep, same spot. What do I think about? I wonder if I had it alternate every single time between triangle and squares. Maybe I could get the... No, I think that the only way for me to get the elevator to work is going to be if I just have the bottom floor covered in all this. That, or I could just put the elevator track and have it start from the ceiling up on the final floor. That would kind of look a little bit stupid, but I guess I'll figure it out at some point. I really do want to make this work. This is by far the biggest base that I've ever made, so I really hope that it turns out the way that I've envisioned it. I've actually had this idea in the back of my head for, goodness, I want to say years, actually, ever since, really, I mean, back in Evolved, I wanted to do this for my Gen 1 base. So I've really wanted to make this. Unfortunately, I didn't really ever have the chance to put it onto the game, so I haven't been able to really think it through that thoroughly. And now that I'm thinking about it, I need to get my Bloodstalker out of here before I accidentally trap him. There we go. And can we just... there we go. Perfect. Yeah. This is really the first time I think I've ever actually built with metal. I'm pretty sure every time I build, it's almost always with stone and wood, comboing those two together. Normally with a little bit of greenhouse, however, with the Frontier Justice. Is it Frontier Justice? I can't remember. Was it Frontier Showdown? I think that might be it. Bob's Tall Tales. I normally just use the windows that you get from the Frontier structures, which works really well, but not exactly when you're using metal, so I'm gonna have to go back to using greenhouse again, which isn't great. I really wish that let me try again. I really wish that there was a glass structure skin that basically had the border of metal, but had the see-through part of greenhouse and was actually, you know, see-through. Greenhouse nowadays has the greenhouse texture. It's kind of got ridges on it, and it isn't really see-throughable. Like, it's clear. I don't want to say it's opaque, but it's just kind of distorted and grainy. And unfortunately, that doesn't make for a very good window, and I really wanted to have a really big window at the top of this tower. I mean, I'm kind of basing off a air traffic control tower. So, yeah, obviously you have a bunch of windows up at the very top so you can look out over everything, but that doesn't really work very well when the closest thing you have to a glass structure isn't very see-through, I guess. So, it's kind of my big issue I was facing. I tried seeing if any custom cosmetics worked, and there's quite a few decent ones out there. I don't think I really found any that perfectly look exactly like metal structures perfectly, but I found plenty that would work. The number one issue simply was, for whatever reason, they don't work on a server. Let me just make sure I have at least one of them installed, and yeah, I'm not allowed to use them. I tried messing around with my server and seeing if I could allow them, but everything I tried just didn't work. So yeah, I don't know why, but for whatever reason, it just doesn't seem to want to allow me to use custom cosmetics that involve glass, I guess. So yeah, if anyone knows how to go ahead and allow that on a server, please do let me know. I've tried a lot of options, so I can't guarantee that I haven't tried any suggestions, and honestly, it might just be me. Maybe I messed something up in there, but yeah, unfortunately, we're just gonna have to settle for greenhouse again. I guess the easiest way would probably be for me to just go out here and realize that the walls have trapped my bloodstock. Can I? There we go. Alright, apparently I need to put some railings around that elevator shaft, because apparently I'm falling through pretty easily. I'm getting a little bit worried that my math is off, and I'm not going to have enough structures here. Actually, I'm almost certain at this point I'm not going to have enough structures to do all of the floors that I want. But the bigger concern, now that I'm thinking about it, is I don't know. I also need to make sure that my math on how many of the... Come on, I'll find the word for it. Really bad at this whole English thing. I'm really worried that I'm not going to have enough room for the actual top of the tower, because I think you can only build 14 structures high on the ocean platforms. I don't know why they have that limit. I guess they didn't want anyone making giant walls that literally made it impassable, but whatever. But yeah, I'm just a little bit worried I'm gonna have to demo one or two of these floors, but I guess that's okay, because I don't exactly need that. I mean, if I have to get rid of it, I mean, I can just go ahead and build it again. But I think this is what, the third floor? I think the third floor I determined was going to be... Actually, no, the third floor was going to be the quote-quote war room. And the second floor was going to be the barracks, where I would live. I'd have my bunk bed down there, and I'll probably have boxes full of creatures that I need to use, and I don't know, maybe I'll go ahead and have a, I don't know, I'll figure something out, something else to put in there. Unfortunately, I really am kind of out of ideas on much of the decorations, because figuring out how to decorate a build this big is not exactly my specialty. But hopefully it should work. Let's get this guy out of here before we're trapped. There we go. And then, yeah, this one would be the war room with all the aquariums and stuff. So hopefully that'll work. And then we'll finally get to work on the top floor. Well, not the top floor, the second to top floor, which will be the trophy room, where I'll probably have to figure out where I'm going to put all my dermis, or at least the ones that I mutate here in the ocean, including Ripple, Wake, and Skipper. And then I will have to go ahead and finally we'll top it off with the actual command center part of this. But yeah, let me just finish building up the tower, and then we can get to the main portion that will finish off the main part of the base. So yeah, give me a little bit to finish up here. Alright, so I went ahead and finished the actual tower portion of the, well, of the tower, and yeah, it's really tall. I feel like it's pretty decent, and I completely forgot, but I need to add a sloping system to go ahead and have some sloped roofs or ramps and stuff to go ahead and connect the outer ring of how big the top floor is going to be to the rest of it, which I have all that around here somewhere. I think it might actually be in my Bloodstalker right now. Yeah, and I'm very glad that I decided to keep this first floor kind of as just a bit of a airlock, or I don't really know what you call it in like a water themed yeah, I don't know what I'd call it in this case, but yeah, I'm just gonna refer to it as the airlock. But yeah, I'm glad I kept this, because yeah, the water kind of goes into here. But I was able to get the elevator to work. I just had to go ahead and add a floor down here on the bottom area. I kind of wish I could have kept just the normal look that the platform has, but yeah, in order to get this to work, I had to do that. But fortunately, now I can go ahead and use an elevator to help get me out of here, and hopefully this will, let's see. Looks like it doesn't, like, play well with the rising ocean. Yeah, we should have four floors. Wow, I messed that one up horribly. And then we have our main floor, which I'll figure out where I put the generator eventually. But now that we're up here, let's go ahead and get this thing set up. So everything around here should be 3 walls long. Every single wall should be 3 walls. And I'm just going to go ahead and use greenhouse. Again, as much as I'd love to go ahead and use some other form of glass structure, I just haven't found any that really work with my server, so I'm just going to have to go with the greenhouse for now, and hopefully I'll find some. I might do a little bit more research into how to allow specific custom cosmetic mods on servers or something, just to see if it works. I think they must have changed it, because all of the things that I found just didn't work, because, yeah, I mean, it's better than nothing, but as you can see, it's kind of difficult to see outside of here, and personally, I'm not the biggest fan of the bottom of the greenhouse. That little metal bar right there. I mean, if I could flip the greenhouse upside down, which I don't think you can do that, I haven't heard of a way to do that, then I wouldn't mind it, but yeah. Either way, I think it'll be really nice to kind of break it up, and I might go ahead and add some pillars around this spot, particularly around like the corners, I guess, just to go ahead and break it up a little bit more, because yeah, now that I'm sitting up here, this is a lot of glass. Doesn't look nearly as good as I was hoping, but again, I think that's because I was looking at this with the idea that I would have a perfect I'd have just a big borderless window that just wrapped around the whole thing, so I think it having this weird texture and grainy and blurriness and opaqueness, I think, just kind of ruins it all. But it's fine. I'll go ahead and deal with it, and yeah, I'll manage for now. But now we need to go ahead and pull all of our sloped stuff. There we go. I don't actually know. I think I meant for this to be 4 tall. I feel like this is... I feel like this isn't a lot, though, but I don't know, we'll see. So I should probably go ahead and drop off some stuff, now that I think about it. We don't need that. I must have made a bunch of extra walls or something. I don't know, I'm going to keep them around just in case. At the very least, I can demo them when I'm done with all this. But I hopefully should be able to snap this right here. And hopefully it'll work. Does not look like it wants to. There we go. And we can just extend this the whole way. Is there any way for me to easily get on top of that? I think I'm going to need to go to my bloodsucker for that. Yeah, I think we're going to need the bloodsucker. Here, let's just hop down. Actually, here. Elevate. Go up to the top. I'll just drop down. Let gravity do its thing. There we go. Thank you, Ripple. And we'll take our Bloodstalker, and I should be able to just super jump up here, right? Oh, yeah. We got tons of room. Then, if I'm very careful... Ooh, that was a close one. That was really close. I should be able to just... Yep, there we go. Alright. And I just continue this along the entire length of the whole roof of the tower, and yeah, I might go ahead and make a couple changes later on. Hopefully this does end up looking as good as I hope it does, but I gotta be honest, I'm starting to have some doubts, and I'm starting to have doubts that I did my math correctly here, because this is going to be pretty expensive. As much as I love the building in ASA, especially compared to vanilla ASE, I have to say I really do not like the height increase they did to the walls. For the most part, I don't mind it. It just, the problem that I have is it completely messed up the angle of sloped ceilings, both the normal and triangle ones. And they just, it's such a steep incline now. I don't know what the angle was before. I think it's now a 45-degree angle. I don't know. I'm 90% sure it wasn't a 45-degree angle back on Evolved, but it just feels so incredibly steep. I mean, just hop down. Yeah, I mean, having 2 of those, I mean, just one is enough, but the second one, just, it's going to be such a steep roof. It just, I don't know. I personally really do not like the angle that these are at. It's just too steep. I wanted to go ahead and use ramps, but unfortunately, I don't think... Roof corner, ramp corner. Yeah, there's no triangular ramp, which... Wildcard, if you're listening, please add that for me, please. That would make building so much better if we had triangular ramps. Yeah, I mean, that's just such a better incline for this, but I can't do it with the triangles. It doesn't work, so... Yeah, I'll just have to settle with... Whoops. I'll have to just keep going like this around the whole thing. And then I'll have to go ahead and add the underside as well, which that's going to be an absolute nightmare. I don't really know how I'm going to do that. I completely forgot about that when I was working my way up. And yeah, I might just poke a hole in the side of the floor below this to go ahead and make that work. But yeah, so far I feel like this has been going pretty good. I'm definitely glad I went ahead and made everything in advance, despite it being so absurdly expensive. I definitely do not look forward to building with metal again. Unfortunately, both my lunar base and volcano base, if they both go the way that I want them to, are going to be made out of metal. So, yeah, it's going to get pretty spendy, so hopefully I can go ahead and feel that. Yeah, there we go. So this is as tall as it should be up here. It's not awful. And honestly, it's a lot more visible in here than I thought. I feel like in here it's actually not that great. Let's see if I can flip this. Let's see if flipping it makes it a little bit better. I'm not seeing much of a difference. Alright, well, that's a little bit unfortunate. But yeah, let me go ahead and cap off the roof on this place and then add the bottom slope, and then we can review how the actual tower portion of it looks when it's all done. So, yeah, I'll bring you guys back in a few minutes. Okay. It's definitely not as good as I'd hoped. That's for sure. But it's something. I'll have to see if I can think of any way to go ahead and improve it. I definitely want to put some railings around up here. I feel like I just need to find some way to, I don't know, give it a little bit more depth. I might have to go ahead and try to do some pillar work around here, maybe some rails as well. Another idea I had was potentially having pillars along the actual base of the ocean platforms, and then having zip lines attached to them to kind of look like cables that help hold it up or something. But yeah, that's everything that I have for it for now, so I'll have to keep it like this. And yeah, I might make some improvements later on. It definitely is a little bit more, I don't know, awkwardly shaped than I was hoping, but I mean, it's decent and it's pretty spacious, so I mean, that's the good news. And I have a lot more walls than I thought I did, so I'm not exactly sure how I ended up with that number. But yeah, I'll have to figure out where to put all those. I might have gone ahead and decided this might actually be because I originally wanted to have the center walled off. Oh well, doesn't matter for now. I'll go ahead and I'll deal with that later. Now it's time to go ahead and actually work on the breeding pens. And this is where things are going to get ridiculously annoying, as these things are massive, absolutely gigantic. So let's go ahead and toss out this other octopus to go ahead and help hold some of the weight, because I need to grab 1/4 of the greenhouse, and then I need half of this, and then I can just put that here in the other octopus, and then I will take, I realize this isn't going to divide evenly, but it's fine. There, that should hopefully keep me at least a little bit mobile. And I don't remember exactly how I planned this and the math I ended up using, so we're just gonna have to go for it and hope that it all ends up working out. And of course, it's gonna be a little bit difficult to work with all this, given how the ocean is moving. I'm actually getting a little bit concerned about how viable these are actually going to be as breeding pens, now that I think about it, because if the ocean goes too far down, then all my creatures are going to end up suffocating. So yeah, that might end up being a bit of a problem. The storm might end up going ahead and killing everything in there, but you know what? It's fine. I'll make it work somehow. I don't really know how, but I don't really got much of a choice. So the plan for this portion was to mostly have it be a ring of metal ceilings with a greenhouse window, I guess, porthole in the roof. Bit of a skylight, I guess, would probably be the proper term for that. But I can't remember how thick the metal ring was, so I don't know if it's 2 or 3 on each side. And of course, then I have to go ahead and duplicate this on the other 3 platforms. Yeah, that water is just getting really low. Yeah, that's gonna be a bit of a problem. I didn't really think that through very well. Whoops. Oh well, it doesn't matter. I'll have to... When I get to the point where I'm breeding either octopi or dunkleys, I'll figure it out then. Maybe they'll be so far down below that it will be... It won't matter. Or maybe they'll all move with the water. I don't know. I'll have to just figure it out as I go. But for now, at the very least, I'm doing this because I think it's going to make the area look a lot better to have these gaps in the ocean platform actually have something and not just be completely empty. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope, we need to go 1 more, and then we should have enough room for all the greenhouse. Assuming that I did all my math right, which, knowing me, I probably did not do. I really hope that the giant ballast tubes are still down there, because when I built this over on my single player, the ballast tubes, for whatever reason, weren't there. And, I mean, it didn't look bad at the time, but now that I'm sitting here with the, ridiculous stormy weather like this, it's gonna look pretty dumb to see this thing kind of just floating above the surface so high without the ballast tubes down there. So I think I went ahead and put the ring around properly. No, this is way too big. What am I missing? What did I mess up? That's 3 on that side. Oh, it's supposed to be 4. So this side needs to get extended out 1 more. There we go. And did I do it right on this side? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Alright, so they'll should be able to just fill this in. As much as I like the actual wave physics we have, I wish that they didn't affect the, I wish that the storm didn't affect them as much as it did. At the very least, that if you had a structure in the area, it kind of behaved, because if I didn't go ahead and have this giant tower here, then, I mean, it would be an absolute nightmare living on one of these things, just down on the bottom. You have to build, I mean, I'd say at least 2 foundations up in order to escape the waves just kind of picking you up whenever they get too high. And of course, if you want to breed anything down there, it's an absolute nightmare, because you have to go ahead and get a bunch of creatures in there that could potentially end up dying. It looks like the storm is finally clearing up, though, so the water should go back to their more normal state. Hopefully. Yeah, that definitely looks a lot better. This is really nice, but of course this is not what it's normally going to be. But anyway, let me go ahead and build this on the rest of the platforms, and then I'll bring you guys back for the next step of building these breeding pens. Okay, it is quite some time later, and I think I've gone ahead and finished up the build, at least for now. So first off, I went ahead and I slightly changed the design out here. Let me see if I can put my bloodstock on me. Oh, that's a lot of... Just see if there's one in here. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, I'm in the process of moving everything over, so my inventory is pretty full. But I went ahead and changed the tower's design up here a little bit. I feel it's a little bit better. It's not perfect. I think the number one problem I have is just that the actual tower part is just too thick. And, I mean, I could have gone ahead and shrunk it, but honestly, I really want all the floors to be useful, and I really like what I was able to do with them, so we'll head in there in a minute. But first, I just want to go ahead and show off the underwater compartments. Oh, I did go ahead and put down my biogrinder. I have a wind turbine. I'll probably add a couple more, just like a little wind farm. Then over there, I have a large teleporter I got out of a crate once. But down here, of course, we have the underwater compartments, which will mostly be used for breeding, I hope, because I noticed this one is apparently missing Do I have... I don't think I have... Alright, I'll have to patch that up later, I guess. But for whatever reason, feral creatures are spawning at least in a couple of them. So, I've tried doing some testing, and I think that feral creatures spawn if you ever mount a creature in an enclosed space under there. I've been down in the water itself, just swimming around like I just was, and I haven't seen feral creatures spawn. I've had, say, 2 megalodons, mate boosted pair, sitting down, and nothing spawns. It only seems to be when I get on and start moving around that it spawns feral creatures. So, I don't know if that was just like a one-time bug or something, but I guess just be careful. Feral creatures can spawn. I'll let you guys know when I figure out, when I get more information on that. I will probably still try to breed things using these, but this one actually should have some feral stuff in it, right? Yeah, we got an ichthy over here. But yeah, if we do end up getting a bunch of feral creatures in here while I'm spawning, breeding, if a bunch of feral creatures spawn while I'm breeding stuff in here, then yeah, I'll let you guys know, and I'll have to go ahead and switch over to the aquatic compartments. As long as it just spawns the ichthyosaurs, I really don't care that much, honestly. I wouldn't even care that much, because just having basically 4 giant aquariums down here would be nice. But hopefully it'll go ahead and work itself out. I'm just gonna have to hope. But as for the inside, I've decorated the vast majority of the inside, and apparently whenever I'm over here, it's giving me a lot of lag. So let's just head inside and see. Okay, the lag is still having some issues. I'm not sure what's going on here. Frame rate's really bad. It wasn't this way just a little bit ago. Honestly, when I started recording is when it started having a problem. But anyway, forgot. First floor, as I said, was going to be a little bit more of just kind of a, what do you call it? I guess a airlock. I still can't find a proper word. So there's really no decoration down here. There's just the, I have 2 diving suits. That's really the best I could think for decoration-wise. So I have to leave that for now. And the second floor, we have the barracks, where I will live. I have my ammo box here, and I have my kitchen over here as well. And then, of course, I have the box for my creatures, and, of course, the storage for my shoulder pets. You can just put Ripple back up there. And then we, of course, have our bed for our armored doggo. Moving up to the 3rd floor. We have the... I really don't know what to call this other than the war room, where I've gone ahead and I've put an aquarium of every single type, and then 2 of the actual ocean ones in here, and a whole bunch of other things. I have a war map, I have the bounty board, which I'll have to go ahead and check all those new ones. I have my Leviathan crafting station, which we'll get to that at some point, and I don't actually remember what this was supposed to be. This is just some nice board decorations. I'll have to figure out something I can put here. Is this on the opposite end of the... Alright, so I might just leave it blank, or I might find something there. I'll figure it out eventually. As we continue to go up to the 4th floor, we have the trophy room, which, no introduction needed. I have the wall mounts ready for when we get the Alpha Master Controller and Motor trophies. And of course, we can add in our dermises for all of our creatures from the ocean in here. And I'll also have my loot in here, so I'll probably put down the tinkering desk and warbench. And finally, making our way up to the very top, this is basically, I guess, just the crafting room. And for whatever reason, the frames are back to normal. So I have all my basic crafting stations up here, and I end up getting a tech rep out of a tier 3 crate. Unfortunately, I can't use it, but I can use this modded small variant, so I'm not exactly sure if I want to go ahead and let myself use it, even though I don't have the engram. I think I'm going to wait until I can, which upon that, I think I'm going to have to fight the Gamma Master Controller so I can get that, because I also don't think I'm going to be able to fight the Alpha Master Controller, or at least be all the Alpha missions, without having the tech rep. So, yeah, that might be something I'm going to have to start working towards, so hopefully that will go well. But rest of my crafting stations, this will get swapped out for a Mega Lab. This will probably just have some deadies, and I will put my gene storage here when I can manage to move that. Overall, I think this turned out pretty well. I don't really know why the lag was so extreme, and hopefully the recording didn't really get hit by that too much. Yeah, the minute we go down here, let's turn off all the fires here. Let's see how much that helps, because it looks like it's an issue. It's taking the outside lighting. It's constantly struggling. Huh, that's weird. I wonder if just reloading the game will fix that. But yeah, as for now, I feel like it's actually worked pretty well. And yeah, I come outside and it's immediately fixed until I look back at the building. So yeah, I'll probably go ahead and add a few more additions. Some other things just to try and make the tower look a little bit better. And look, what's that? I wonder if that's something from one of the aquariums. Yeah, that might be a piece from one of the aquariums. I might go ahead and move that then. Oh, we got pieces there. Oh, the aquariums just must have... That must just be on the back. Alright, well, there's nothing I can really do about those. Doesn't matter, and it looks like Skipper's tail is sticking outside. It doesn't matter. Okay, it's gonna kind of bug me. But anyway, I feel like this actually turned out pretty well, and I will go ahead and make tweaks to it later as we move on, because it's not perfect, and I mean, I doubt it ever will be, but I feel like it definitely looks a lot better than when I started, and I feel like the inside's pretty nice, and I'm actually pretty excited to go ahead and live here, and unfortunately, now that the storm is getting ready, I need to get everyone picked up. The octopi don't care. One other thing is I believe that the waves during the storm can reach all the way up to, oh, there we go, 3 or 4 foundations high. Normally they don't go past the 2 walls, sorry, not foundations, walls. They normally don't pass the 2 wall mark, but I have been up here in my barracks and I have gotten splashed a little bit. So, yeah, just a bit of a warning. That's a bit of a problem. I'll do that in, uh-oh. There was loot in here, wasn't there? Oh, yeah, there was. I'll just pick that up and I'll go figure out where to put it later. But yeah, I feel like I did pretty good on this one. And I'm really excited to go ahead and see if there's any more improvements I can make to it later. And of course, as I said, I do plan on going ahead and building a base in every single biome. And for the most part, I have the ideas for each of those bases. I'm not exactly sure what the next one I'll make is. I'm thinking probably the bog, but I don't know. I'll have to think about it. But yeah, I think that's all I got for this one. So just want to quickly say thank you all so much for watching. I know I say that every time, but really, it means a lot. It's been really fun going ahead and doing this, and I've honestly been having a little bit of trouble here on Genesis. I think I've just had the idea that the map is impossible stuck in the back of my head, and it's just been really difficult, so I'm really glad that you all are enjoying this because, well, it does help push me to go ahead and actually try to beat the map, and I can't guarantee we're going to be able to beat it on Alpha, but I feel pretty confident at least beating it on Gamma, and seeing that I'm going to need to do that for Tech Rep might end up happening, so yeah, definitely a lot of projects here, and I'm getting worried I'm not going to be able to get them all, but I'm going to try and make it work. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be starting an Astraeos series. I know I commented on that a couple episodes ago, but I don't think it's going to happen. I really want to get through Genesis really badly, and I mean, I'm even getting worried I'm not going to be able to make it through Dragontopia, because as much as I know people would probably like to go ahead and see that, I really do want to finish Genesis. This is something I've wanted to do for a very long time, and I want to get as close as I can to being able to beat it just completely on its own without ascending from any other maps. I don't know if it's possible. I've heard many times it's not possible, but I'm really going to try, so it might take a while, but I'm hoping that we can end up beating it. So your support all means a lot. It's been a fun journey so far, and I hope to keep on going. But yeah, that's all I got. So thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, farewell.